on that front. And every time he even shows a bit of greed, he forgets his pact. He just gets slammed home with negative win rate. That's the reality. And this particular game, we did say that Chira Jr. is the person to watch. Now, Mukushi back on his PA that he's comfortable on, but it just wasn't enough. I mean, the rest of the team couldn't buy him enough space, and this game, into a Huskar, the Puck has to make ganks happen, has to make kills happen, has to get the PA room to get Battle Fury plus 2-3 more items. Ooh, his backbones are gonna be hurting after this one if they manage to pull it out.
Yeah. And I know we talked about the last game, Sneeze, but this game too, especially laning with the playing with the puck, rune control is super important. Who the hell on 1-win is securing runes?
Clearly, Sweden.pro is gonna come in with the IO, and they're gonna duo mid against this Huskar. That's definitely gonna work out for them.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the pressure is gonna have to be applied through this off-lane duo, right? Cloud and Sweden.pro. They need to pressure this Sven out of lane, open that spot out on the map, and send things into disarray. Because if VP, again, are able to stick to their static lanes, they will come out on top.
Absolutely, and these aren't easy lanes for 1-win, right? Shadow Demon's constantly going to be setting up the perfect spear for Mars through this entire game, let alone the laning stage. The Lesh Sven, we've already talked about, is an incredibly strong kill lane. I'm worried.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Me too. And I mean, if you're a 1-win fan, you should be worried as well, because as much as we praise this team, I think we've been rightfully impressed with them. You know, even before they got signed by 1-win, when they were running around as the Klim Sanich lineup, they've been surprising and basically demanding respect from some of these big boys in Eastern Europe. That first game wasn't really a showing of that. That didn't really remind us of that lineup that had that potential. And Chira Jr. on his puck now. It's always going to be a rough spot on that sort of 23rd pick there, but...
Now, to be fair, this game can also go the way of game number 1, right? This could still be a shellacking. It's going to be up to Huskar to see what he can do this game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the thing I'm smelling is I smell the shellacking coming, but I want to be wrong so bad, right? I feel like the story for a lot of these qualifiers is that, especially for Eastern Europe, where we talked about the region being stacked already, a few new contenders in Na'Vi, 1-win, reaching up to try and challenge Spirit VP. There's that chance there. So to see them deflated this early on would be a little painful, to be honest.
Yeah, but, you know, good news, this is upper bracket, right? So this isn't the end-all, be-all for them. They still have a chance to come back and take the learnings, the teachings that VP has put through them.
Yeah. I'm most curious to see what the game plan is from 1-win with this IO, right? Because every time I think about it, it's just that instant connect potential, but... apart from the puck, I'm not really seeing a lot of setup, right? 1-win, they're going to rely on maybe this CM finding a Frostbite. They relocate in with the Tiny, who really is the only person who wants to fight early on. So he kind of needs to have a good early game advantage, which, to be fair, he's doing not as well as I would think. He's kind of mirroring CS with the Sven, who managed to deny him 3 times already.
Very close top lane. This isn't too bad of a lane either, the CMPA. But it's got to be the Shadow Demon, right? You don't kill Mars, do you? In any circumstance? I know this should be A-okay for sure,
I would hope so. I mean, unless he just decides not to buy a stick, which he already has. So, step 1 complete. Blood Grenade in the bot side, the tree toss onto Kiritich. First blood is drawn. 1-win, they turn things on here. But FNG trying to run down Sweden.pro with that Edict. It's not going to be enough damage at level 1. Great stuff, and exactly what 1-win need to keep doing if they want to stand a chance in this mid game.
I guess I'm not too surprised. I would be surprised if he doesn't get a level 3. But FNG not having stun, especially when you have a setup with the Sven's, a little awkward to me. But maybe you just get a level 3.
Yeah.
Or 4. I don't know.
I mean, even with mid Lashers these days, they go focus on the Lightning Storm, right? Because it's so much stronger. So
it's so
understandable.
Good.
The stun kind of feels like a little bit of a wet noodle, right? You pop up some spikes from the earth. Okay, you good little pony. We kill your carry now. Don't mind us. That's kind of how they roll up.
You know, all things considering, Chira's doing A-okay mid.
Yeah. I mean, it it goes back to the point that I was mentioning in game number 1, where I feel like some of these bad matchups, like mid laners have had to evolve past that, right? You can't just lose a matchup just because you get counterpicked these days. Everyone is finding the little tag on the hero, little moves that you can make, little small adjustments in the itemization to get yourself an even game state at the very least, and that's exactly what Chira has afforded for himself.
Chira and Cloud are going to have to be the playmakers this game.
Yeah. Dropping a little low now, Cloud, but with the healing from Swedenstrong, he should be fine. Like you mentioned, there isn't a level in the stun, and honestly, even if you got a level in the stun, that will mean you don't have enough damage to kill him, so it's a bit of a tough situation here.
Yeah, it's weird if you do and weird if you don't. You know what I mean? Because, like, you probably want a little bit extra control to protect your Sven, but yeah, awkward. Awkward either way, but I do like what FNG's doing here. More damage equals more good.
Yeah, and I think with the level 1 stun, you mentioned already that less stun, one thing about it, telegraphed as hell, right? You should be able to break the ankles a little bit, especially with that additional move speed from Tether. So maybe that's why he's not prioritizing it as much, but Kiritich, you know, he's not really having the best of times here in this lane. He'll be looking to move into that jungle, maybe into some stack as soon as possible. That is if, of course, the side of VP actually have time to stack for him. It seems like both supports, they're pretty occupied in the lane so far.
I'm actually kind of surprised that Tiny doesn't have more denies, but I think that speaks more to the strength of Lesh. Being able to secure creep CS, and also being able to, like, harass, do all these things at the same time.
Yeah. We talked a lot about what one win need to get in terms of getting their mid game going, but especially for VP, it feels like, you know, it's all gonna be around this Huskar, and particularly Mars, right? He needs to be able to get his first 1 or 2 items to back this Huskar up, because if one win fully collapse on Squadix, he's not gonna be able to survive being outnumbered. He needs stuns to come through and save him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The Huskar is no longer the 1v5 hero that he used to be.
Yeah. And this could be a good start. 1 win on this top side. Munkushi will eat a spear, and a lot of wand charges gets noticed out of trouble. As Seyuch was away. Was probably setting up a ward or something like that, but yeah. Large creep wave going Notice way, probably just wanting to get out of his view so he can get as much EXP as possible, get his way towards that level 6 and maybe start putting out pressure on the map. 6-minute runes are spawning in just about 10 seconds, which is why you see FNG galloping his way over. Swedenstrong here to play as well, but it should be advantageous overall as FNG gets the priority on that. So no room for Puck, unfortunately.
Makes things a little awkward for the Puck. No rotations probably. With the bounty rune, maybe you make a rotation, but once again with these lanes from VP, who the hell are you ganking? Sven, Mars? Maybe Mars because he's half HP, but Sven? Very awkward of a gank.
It's going to be one of those situations where 1 win, they need to set up for some sort of tower dive or extended chase that it feels like VP have already warded perfectly for, right? You look at that entrance to the top jungle from the mid lane, and there's a ward right there. You look at the exit to the bot side. Right in the lane, there's a ward across the river. And then immediately on their cliff in the bot side, there's a third ward. Every single thing that VP is doing is preparing for this potential Puck rotation that just can't come because there isn't really an opportunity. It's kind of awkward.
Wisdom runes should be fine. Yeah, 1 for 1. Nothing too weird happening. I do like when mid laners gank the Wisdom rune. I'm a big fan of that, but not happening as a Puck with that rune for sure.
Yeah. I mean, all Chira is trying to do is survive, right? And I'm not too surprised that he's gonna work his way towards Witchblade. Very standard Puck build up. Just wants to be able to contribute to the damage. Top side with the setup though, Notice looking for a spear. Straight into the tower. FNG's come through the Twin Gates. They're trying to pressure down Mukushi, but Swedenstrong here to save the day. Pump up his carry. Chira Jr. might not have found a rotation, but it's easy if you try and dive his carry like that. Coil out now onto Notice, but where is the follow-up damage? Seems like they're out of it, and 1 win will back up. Great response there to keep the PA alive, and very much needed.
Until Puck starts getting items and Tiny gets that Blink Dagger, they're going to have damage issues again on 1 win. Right? Yeah. Cool. Puck uses the slew of spells. That's it. That's it. Damage.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, the fact that Squadix is playing a little bit more reserved in this mid lane and not making moves, I mean, that's something 1 win can capitalize on, right? And topside, Sage being set up on. Good try there. Respect. Couldn't come through for the Frostbite in time. But yeah, I mean, one win, they aren't going to keel over, right? They're making sure that they're still poking, prodding, bothering the polar bears and making them sweat a little bit at least.
They're 2 kills up right now, especially into this like kill lane. The Lash Sven, the Huskar mid. It's really good for one win.
Yeah. And I guess the one caveat is that the Sven still relatively untouched, but we've seen this from Cloud before, right? Even though he's not getting active just yet, he's waiting for that blink timer. It's kind of like, you mentioned this already to me in private, but it's like an Earthshaker position 3. He's a bit slower, he's not going to start rotating, not going to start pressuring towers until he gets 1 or 2 items, but as soon as he does, it's going to turn on, and one win, they should be rolling as soon as that happens.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're given farm priority, you need to use it. It's as simple as that, right? If you're not getting a Blink Dagger at around 12 minutes at the latest, what do you do? It just feels so bad. You must have gotten dumpstered in the lane if that's the case. And Tiny doing quite well, right? Top of the net worth for his team.
Yeah. Just 1,000 gold off that Blink Dagger. And we should see some smokes start to get used. Now VP trying to defend these stacks against Chira, who's just throwing orb after orb, trying to clear them out. Realistically speaking, there's no way that Chira dies here, especially if he hangs on to his orb. Can't get caught by an arena, and that's one of the benefits of the puck this game, right? The Huskar, until you get something like an Aghanims, or maybe someone gets a surprise Orchid, I don't know at this point. But unless you get the Aghanims... Yeah, we never know. I feel like the games that we cast most of the time, people are randomly just getting Orchid. I don't know why. I get it in game theory most of the time, but it just never seems to really work out. FNG trying to contest for the rune here. Gets saved momentarily and won't be able to walk out committed. Chira, I respect it. You know, he understands that he doesn't really have much use for it other than that, so kills the kill, correct.
Yeah, you don't know who's lurking on that high ground. That could have been like a 5-man turnaround. Who knows, you know?
Yeah. I think I like the way One Win are playing, and I don't know whether you would call it decisiveness, but they're not being picky. You know, they're not being snotty, right? They don't care that they're throwing their spells out. They're not scared to use resources. And Munkushi, oh, there's a TP up to the top side. Need to watch out for this arena setup. Immediately it's there. Spear into the wall as well. Squadix trying to follow up. The PA trying to blink away, but doesn't have the HP. Will get finished off, and great rotation from this Huskar. Should be able to get the tower now.
It's really cool from Notice. He like faked an initiation and then initiated. Like he throws out a God's Rebuke. He's like, oh, I'm just harassing you. Haha, look at me. I'm so funny. And then walks up again. And Pia's like, okay, he's just going to do it again. Makushi's fine, tanking God's Rebuke. But no, this time, right? Huskar comes in. Lesh comes in. Big problem.
Yeah. It's literally just lane conditioning, right? You think you got a good grasp of how your opponent likes to use their spells and at what tempo they're being thrown out at, and suddenly, you know, 3 heroes converge on you. Huge amount of stacks being stolen away by VP now, though. Squadix able to work down this camp and respect. He's gonna try and come and grab as much as he can, but runs into FNG guarding him. And yeah, this is just awkward now because Chira doesn't actually have resources to contribute, and respect is just going to get run down by FNG. That's so easy. The Lesh just gets a freebie.
If Lesh is isolated on either Io or Crystal Maiden, Io has a little bit more of a chance of getting away thanks to that tether. But they're dead, more or less.
Yeah, gone. It's, I mean, one of the powers of the Lash, right? Level 3 in that Edict already prioritizing it, and we see exactly why. It's just such a strong spell that I think most of the time people don't notice until you sort of realize your entire HP pool is just being burnt up. Like you're like a little piece of meat on a barbecue, you're just getting exploded on. It's tough.
Kind of, like, aroma do you think Diabolic Edict gives? Because, like, a barbecue, very smoky, very nice.
Lesh is good.
Smoked.
Yeah. This is the Blink Dagger reveal from Tiny. Helps that he has the backup of the IO, of course, and that's going to open up this mid lane for them to try and put on some pressure. It's a good wave clear from the Shadow Demon, but yeah, now you need to turn things on, right? We talked about this already, 12-minute timing. There it is, called it right on the money. Now Cloud, he's got to be this frontliner, initiator, do everything, man, fix it. For One Win, they need to sort of get the game state back to even. And all things considered, I mean, looks like they're going to be able to get this tier 1, and I'm quite surprised by how unbothered the Huskar seems to be by all of this happening for now.
Yeah. The Huskar is just content farming, I guess.
Yeah.
More stacks being stolen, both sides. Stealing stacks quite a bit, as much as they can.
We're in the meta of stack stealing now, don't you know,
Yes.
Crash? This is... You stack, and then it's your opponents who get that. Chira should be able to just jump to the low ground. Good try from Kiritich. Can't really connect on that Storm Hammer though. Just a nice little nook for Chira to tuck his little backside under. Looks like there's a bit of a setup in the top side. Cloud relocated up here along with Sweden Strong, and they will be able to kill off Notice. So we just need to keep seeing this happen over and over. They're already starting strong.
And they've actually almost got a mech on Sweden Strong already too. This is
Wow.
really good.
Yeah. A lot of physical damage going to be shrugged off by this team. The burst heals can't be understated. And when it comes to the Sven, that's all it's about, right? You want to burst someone down 100 to 0 to start your fight. These extended engagements where 1win are allowed to poke and prod, reset, it's not going to favor VP. Eyeing up the Sven now. Meanwhile, a whole engagement happening in this mid lane. They're able to walk off the coil. And because of the amount of heroes they see, they know that the Sven is alone, but just a bit too tanky for them to work through right now.
Yeah. Very awkward engagement, because you're not bursting down the Sven, right? And those are your only targets right now.
Yeah. Cloud, as much as he's had a great game so far, Kiritich, look at him. He's level 12, doing just fine and dandy, top on the net worth. Now notice, he's going to try and flip the script, engage on his counterpart. If Godstrength coming in, looks like Cloud will just get chopped down into tiny little bits of debris. Squadix will finish him off. They want to get Sweden Strong as well. With the chase down, should be enough. The last spear sets up for a slice down. And the whole squad of VP turns up big time. Gets it done.
Oh my god, Mars is building an orchid.
Yeah, we're cursed. I think. every single time, it's just an orchid on some random. Like, look, I get it. We already talked about it. They don't have control. And we always do, right? We're understanding. We get it. But it's just, you know, I guess now that he has a blink.
Pairs up with a Yules or a BKB, though, on the enemy team. It just feels like such a missed item.
Yeah. I mean, I get it now, right? I'm not sure whether the puck actually has... Let's see whether he has it flying out. No, only as a blink.
Witchblade blink, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be a small timing window, and I think this is fine because in comparison to last game where the Slada got Rush Orchid, he already has a blink, so it's not like he's missing on the engage potential.
Exactly.
Oh, set up here in the top side. Respect immediately throwing out that freezing field. No cares. Set up for Cloud, but without that ultimate, they don't actually have enough damage to cut through Kiritich again. I do have to wonder whether that was the right move for Respect, as he will get punished big time for it. Another move from 1win not really panning out the way that they wanted.
Yeah, you know, I said at the beginning of this series, Sneeze, you know, Respect is really good at understanding when stuns are still online and not freeze and fielding until it's, you know, but you may have cursed him a little bit there. I don't know. That was not it.
And now they can just head straight into the Roche. As long as Squadix just toggles properly, you know, we've seen some Huskars go down before. But no, he's a professional. You know, he's playing for BP, I'll have you know. And he should be able to get this done quick and easy. 16-minute Aegis timing, ridiculously early, but exactly what you expect from a Huskar, who's had a good start, has that BKB Aegis double insurance policy, and should start knocking on these tier 2 towers in short order.
And with Kiritich about to get that BKB as well, I wonder if he just resembles his Echo Saber or not. Because if they do, they can just start running at them. PA, nowhere near the BKB quite yet.
Yeah.
Going the Revenant's Brooch after Munkushi kind of has to. Right?
Yeah.
You're not relying on your physical damage against Sven. It's just not possible.
Yeah, especially the Warcry, just such an insane spell to have. And I mean, again, we're seeing the weaknesses of the PA, right? Even though 1win, it's clearly a hero that they're very comfortable on. It is locked in by timing. It is a hero that needs so much space to grow. And VP, the response is just, we're not going to give you any of it. The line was immediately drawn as soon as Squadix got that Aegis. He clicked on the top side, clicked on the mid, and it looks like they realized maybe tier 2, a bit too risky for now. Let's clean things up a bit. Maybe get a pick off, get a tower. It's going to be vibes now. Noticed, still no Orchid complete just yet. We'll run up into Chira Jr. who's just able to blink out to safety. But this tower looking to be forfeit here unless 1win come through with a big response.
They're going to try, maybe, just cut the wave, do what they can, but it's a tier 1 tower. It doesn't have backdoor protection.
Oh, that is such a hits up TP from Notice, but the relocate, it gets cut off! He gets bounced away by the wall of the arena! This is such a great play from the Mars! And he catches the creep cutting heroes from 1win. And meanwhile, Kiritich, a free kill into Respect. Now, that's a BKB reveal, but it's not too big of a deal when you're up-tempoing like this. Now, Sweden Strong, he tried to relocate out, and he will pay the price for it. Just amazing stuff from VP all around. I'm not sure if you caught that, but Notice literally TP'd to the tier 2 just to get that catch.
That was a really cool play from Notice. I was surprised to see Tiny Io once again cutting creep waves. It was just a little bit of an awkward engagement for me for one win. I'm not too sure. I mean, it wasn't even an engagement, was it? That's unfair to call it that.
Oh, Chira Jr. now. His Korea does get sniped, which means he's not gonna have that orchid for a little bit unless he manually walks to the secret shop. You having to do your own legwork. Oh my goodness. Oh, he's gonna have to walk all the way and buy his own item physically without getting it express delivered. This is ridiculous.
It's like when you actually have to go out shopping instead of just Amazon and getting
yeah, yeah. In this case, DHL dropping it. You know.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. This is mixing so much easier.
Legitimately not even like a sponsored thing. Shout out to DHL. Actually, like, I've never had a problem with them package-wise, so...
Yeah. Now you know if you need maybe we should give pass over the contact number over to this Mars here. Make sure that he can get his... Dude, Chiran Jr.'s on a career sniping fiesta. I mean, he's just back here understanding that there isn't really a lot of control that they can use on him. And he's milking the map for farm. That's not going to be enough to stop this push from VP coming through. I've used quite a bit of this Aegis duration already though, but tier 2 tower on the top side and tier 2 tower in the mid. That's just about all they can ask for.
Hello, backdoor protection? Anyone? Anywhere? There it is.
There we go. There we go.
It always takes a little bit longer than you think.
Yeah.
Especially when you really need it to, you know?
I mean, right now, the name of the game for one win is just buy time, cut creep waves, respect. He'll get caught out here. Munkushi jumping very far forward, trying to cut down onto FNG. But notice he was waiting for the spear and just kills off the PA. Respect, he was supposed to be the bait, but it doesn't work out nearly that way. And now Sweden Strong trying to relocate in to help his buddy out. Spears come through. Does he have enough damage to finish him off? No. The Io just narrowly managing to survive there, but another situation where they've just killed the PA for the price of free and grabbed your Tormentor while they're at it. VP, they just continue these two-pronged strikes across the map.
Now the good news is game number 1, the game was over by now. It's not quite over yet, Sneeze, but it's looking incredibly hard, especially now that Huskar's finished a Halberd. PA shouldn't have a game anymore. And to be fair, Munkushi hasn't had too much of a game at all.
No, not at all. And it seems like, I don't know whether you call it stubbornness, but the decision to stick to what they're comfortable on one win is going to bite them, because VP, I don't know, you just can't get away with picking a PA like that. I don't necessarily think that this draft was very catered around her as well, right? This IO still raises some eyebrows for me, especially with how well Notice is shining on this Mars, able to split up the fight and make it very hard. The components, they just aren't... They aren't even on the same sheet of music right now. That's kind of what it feels like.
It's weird, like, Io has fallen off so heavily because of... Not because of anything necessarily, but the hero's been, like, a little nerfed, it's a little awkward, Mars is so prevalent, so it's super hard to play Io. Like, even in the pro scene, Io has not seen a lot of play, right? Been completely replaced by, like, Chen and Chandra's other healers that, you know, can do similar things, but also output damage.
Yeah.
Which is something that Io does not do any of.
Yeah, and I think the big thing that stands out for me is a lot of these other heroes, like the Hoodwink, like the Shadow Demon that we see this game, and even in some cases like the Lash, you get a lot of utility in your kit that allows you to stand alone as a hero. But Io has never been that case, right? It's always about buffing someone else up. But in cases where, you know, you're in this situation, you're essentially playing 4.5 versus 5. And all 5 heroes on VP are just decked out right now. It's very hard to run up into them. One win. It's another situation where they're struggling, trailing behind 11k now. It's only 22 minutes. The options are just starting to run out for them a little bit.
I wonder what VP are waiting for. I wonder if it's the next item or just for one win to make a mistake. Because maybe it's just next Aegis and then go. Find a pick off on Puck like this could be huge. No.
Yeah. I mean, so far they've not really had luck killing off Chira Jr. even when they start the fight on him. Like I mentioned, I feel like it's only going to happen once you have that Aghanim Scepter complete on Squad 8. But that's not going to stop them from continuing this push out, right? They're feeling so strong right now. The backline is smoking up. They understand they just need to keep their distance. Let Kiritich get the job done. Got strength up to the high ground. Again, I'm looking at 1win. They're looking at VP. I don't know what the response is. Is this going to be another situation where you're just giving 2 lanes of Rags for free?
3 heroes aren't on the map right, or are on the map right now, just chilling.
Yeah, look at Chira Jr.
It is.
He's trying to get a little bit of creep skipping action, but notice in the perfect position to silence him. And 1win, this has gotta feel awful. I mean, without your pop, I feel like that's the only semblance of a chance at starting a good team fight. Cloud, we talked about him needing to get off to a good start, but we turn back and look, Kiritich is like, what, 3-4 levels ahead of him? Completely unbothered, and 1win, I don't think they're even going to get 1 this series.
No, and if they do, it's going to be a hard-fought one.
It's going to be the most epic comeback of all time is what it has to be.
Yeah.
And yeah. I mean, they're doing a good job in terms of splitting the map, right? That's the one thing that their lineup can try. And that's going to limit the, I guess, speed at which VP can try and push. Gotta make sure we can see fog. Yeah, there we go. Hell yeah.
We figured it out.
We can see. We're no longer bound by the same silly constraints of the players in game. We're all powerful. And what we can see is that 1win, the chances for them are waning extremely low.
But not
4%.
over yet. It's not a 99-1. I've seen worse.
Yeah,
I've seen
fair.
worse win probabilities. It's been 100-0 before too, so it could get a lot worse. But
yeah,
coming out of the game state, it can't get. It can't get much worse for them.
Sure. I mean, the late game, there's potential there for 1win, but again, you're playing PA Tiny into a Shadow Demon who, by the time you get scaled up, he might just have an egg. So, a nice little demonic perch for each of you, if you want to sort of come by and stop by his sweet little shop there. A Philo Stone gonna help him out in that regard. Oh, not really sure what that was about. Just
he got stuck in the trees.
Okay.
FNG, the real MVP here.
Yeah, bailed him out of there.
Yeah.
It goes to show the game state where last game we were talking about the fact that Chen didn't need the Hand of God. This game, the most troublesome situation he's been in is stuck in trees.
Yeah.
Like, literally, it feels like 1win, they haven't really scratched VP. Haven't even grazed them.
No.
Not even sure they're on the same playing field right now. And I'm not even talking about skill-wise, I'm just saying it's just a complete mismatch in terms of game plans right now.
It kind of seems like they're getting a little outdrafted. Right? 1win goes for comfort while VP goes for this really clean, concise, clearly practiced, heavily draft.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the heroes that they're playing as well, they are no strangers, right? Kiritich, he's been playing this Sven.
Yeah.
He's been playing this SD. I mean, Lash, that you look at his Dota2 Pro tracker, you know FNG's fiending on this guy. Like, this shouldn't come as a surprise to 1win if they've done any sort of prep work, which I'm sure they have, but maybe in the same vein that they went up against Liga, they believe that they will be able to best them. But for now, the strat is clearly not identifiable to us, right? It's not clear what the idea was, it's not clear how it was going to play out, and it's clearly not working out.
And there's no win condition other than PA getting Revenant's Brooch.
Yeah.
And like,
she has it.
That's a lot of eggs in one basket. Yeah, Revenant's Brooch is online, so maybe it's time to win the game for 1win.
Yeah. Revenant's Brooch, baby.
A big deficit.
I mean, this could catch you off guard a little bit, right? Squadix, like we mentioned, has pretty decent magic resist thanks to that Berserker's Blood, but you know, apart from that, it's largely teched into armor evasion. You know, you're relying on the Sven to pump you up that way. But they do need to be clean in their execution though. Last game, they tried for this similar Hail Mary fight and it started with Munkushi just dying. Yeah. It's not what you want. Trying to smoke
could very well be the same. I like this. This is the forbidden smoke.
Yes. You called it out previously as well, but you need to try and come through for a wraparound, catch out onto some of the supports. You'll run straight into FNG. Could be a good target start, especially notice straight up tossed into the sky is this Mars. Forced to pop the BKB. They're able to clean up FNG, but now Kiritich, he's in the fight, chopping down onto Respect, and PA just has to run. Pops the BKB for herself. She needs someone to blink to, finds the IO. The Forbidden Smoke nets them 1 kill. but not much else. It seems like Seyuch able to set up on Cloud now. The Tiny needs to make a great escape. Great blink. Sven X can't follow him through, and he should be able to TP back to safety. I mean, all things considered, 1 win.
Pretty good.
Pretty solid stuff. They wasted the God Strength, which means now VP just need to chill for a bit.
Yeah, Forbidden Smoke pays off. They did have to buy back on CM, but I don't know how much that contributed.
Who cares? Who cares, right? At this point, Respect is very happy with that situation.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You defend, you more or less win a fight.
BKB timers as well.
God Strengths were drained.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 win. It all starts now.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
This is the comeback. This is if there was ever an epic comeback of all time, this is where it starts.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is where it could end as well with how comfortable VP are feeling. They're just gonna find Sweeter Strong. Easy kill. And unlike the PA, unfortunately, he doesn't have a spell called Blink Strike, so he's dead. And even if he did, he was silenced and stunned and killed. So
hard to
very
use abilities when you're silent, stunned, and dead.
Yeah, it's a kind of tough situation. Squadic's got to jump into this mid lane. With that Aghanim's pickup, like we mentioned, taunting the puck into punching him. And that's just a cruel setup, right? You realize Huskar's entire build is like, hey, why don't you hit me? But I'm gonna get a halberd, so you're gonna miss all your attacks, you goddamn idiot.
It is literally like the screw you build, to not just GA, but for the puck as well.
It's literally the cyberbullying build. It's like, why you... It's not even like a blade mail manly, like, why are you hitting me? You're dying. It's like a... You could try, I made you hit me, but it's not gonna happen. Now Cloud, he does have to come through with a crazy initiation. He blinks just in time to see his Rex fall, so a little bit of solidarity there, can respect it. But not something that's... Maybe. It's not gonna win you the fight though, as AJ's still in the pockets of Squadix for a little bit. The Sven already has MKB complete. Talk about smacking down this PA. It's gonna be that much easier.
Okay. Potentially the last Forbidden Smoke from... This is less forbidden. This is fine.
Oh, I think he's gonna die again. Oh, it's actually Squadix that they spot
He's
out.
invis.
Yeah. I think the Forbidden Smoke just got casually broken by Squadix walking by.
Well, that one wasn't the forbidden one. That's a fine smoke. That's a I need to get out of my base smoke.
Okay, that's a respectable smoke. Nothing forbidden about that. Not outlawed in some countries. Okay, that's
exactly.
Okay. I need to see some illegal smokes here if 1win want to try and get that advantage, because VP, I'm sure they know all about the regular law-abiding smokes.
Yeah. Oh, obviously, right? But no one ever expects a wraparound.
Notice, popping the BKB, a bit of miscoordination there, but still, it's gonna allow him to get the perfect setup. Beautiful relocate, fishing Cloud out of trouble. Arena will catch Shira, but that's not a target you can lock down on. Again, VP, they're using resources with not much to be found. Notice is going to narrowly survive. No, finally goes down. Shira dancing around the fight, but where's the follow-up? Where's the PA? Keeping my eyes peeled from Unkushi, trying to find an entry into the fight. But he cannot, Squadix. That's not the target, especially with that second life. But great plays from 1win to not only save their Tiny, but get something out of it. Now, if out the arena and some BKBs, God Strength wearing down as well. VP, surely you need to back up now. Chira, still dancing with them, still playing. Gonna commit all the way through. Chira's now in some trouble, trying to save him with Cloud in the Avalanche. Squadix, he's dropping low, but dancing around him. Kiritich won't be denied though. Will chop down Respect, and now Makuchi able to blink strike away, but butting away with the spears. Cloud with a toss back, straight to safety, everything to bail the PA out of dodge, but she will take out. And alongside that 1win, it feels like their chances are falling down as well. 70 seconds without your PA. Chira, you can try your damn best, but it just isn't enough. 18k gold now, as VP looking to continue to thunder through the upper bracket. The voice line's coming out, they're feeling good. Even though they lose Seyuj, even though they don't have that God Strength, they're ready to put an end to this series. It was a fast affair in game number 1, but a couple of hesitant moves here. 1win, they tried their best to hang on, but without the carry here, I don't see an out.
You've got 40 seconds left. Maybe pick off that an Orchid, dude.
The pre-cast silence. Notice that is how it is done. Cloud, he's gonna call it as 1win. They unfortunately just get completely smogged out of this series. Virtus.pro don't give them a chance, and this was the Virtus.pro that we were expecting, not really the 1win that we were expecting.
No, this was not the 1-win that was taking games off of like Liquid and Tundra and Extreme.
Yeah.
Like, this was tier 2